Introduction. Welcome back to the Royal Levitical Priesthood Ministry. This is Dallas James, and tonight we're doing something we have never done before. The moon is turning to blood as I speak. A total lunar eclipse is underway, and I have just executed a life force experiment drawn directly into this celestial event. 25 verses drawn from the Urim Thummim version corpus of 32,021 verses using cryptographic entropy under the Shield 10.3 Lambda protocol. The question I locked before the draw: the moon is turning to blood this moment, so reveal what you're going to do. YHWH Elohim. 4 pre-registered keywords: moon, blood, reveal, YHWH. No moving the goalposts. No post hoc rationalization. And what came back is one of the most statistically extraordinary draws I have ever recorded. Let me walk you through it. The mathematics. The Dominion Triad, identity, inheritance, and priesthood converging in a single verse. Hit 6 times in 25 verses. The baseline expectation from the full corpus is 0.32. That is 1,875% normalized resonance index, registering at 10.11 sigma. For context, in particle physics, 5 sigma confirms a discovery. This is double that threshold. Under Benjamin E. Hochberg false discovery rate correction across all 12 markers tested simultaneously, the Dominion Triad was the only marker to survive. It does not need company. The guidance detection indicator combined all 12 marker p-values using Fisher's method and returned a combined probability of 1 in 45 billion. The convergence confidence index fired on all 6 channels: anomaly detection, directional clarity, Dominion Triad, direct textual hits, FDR-survivors, and Selah, reaching 82%, classified as threshold crossed. 2. The lead verse, the Cyrus decree. The first verse drawn, the panim, the face of the draw, is Ezra chapter 1, verse 2. Thus says Cyrus king of Persia, YHWH Elohim of the skies has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has charged me to build him a temple at Jerusalem that is in Judah. Think about what just happened. Of all 32,000 verses, the draw opens with a singular moment in Scripture where a pagan sovereign becomes the instrument of covenant restoration. Cyrus does not convert. He does not enter the assembly. He is charged. The Hebrew pakid, the same verb YHWH uses when he visits his people for deliverance. The God of the skies co-opts the most powerful ruler on earth to rebuild what was destroyed. Spoken into a blood moon, a celestial sign the prophets associate with the turning of ages. This lead verse announces a building verdict, not a destruction verdict. The moon turns to blood, but the first word from the draw is construction, commission, temple. What you see in the sky is not chaos. It is the signal that instruments are being charged to build. 3. The priestly thread. The draw is saturated with priesthood. 5 verses form a priestly architecture that the 10.11 sigma Dominion Triad anchors. Deuteronomy 10 verse 7. Eleazar serving in his father's priesthood. Orderly succession. The priesthood does not lapse. Leviticus 27 verse 20. The Jubilee field reverting to YHWH, becoming the priest's property. Restoration economics. What was alienated returns to its consecrated purpose. Numbers 18 verse 27. The heave offering from the tithes given to Aaron. The priestly portion structurally embedded in the covenant economy. Joshua 20 verse 7. Hebron given to the sons of Aaron as a city of refuge. Priesthood that is protective, not only liturgical. The priest's city shelters the one who has shed blood unintentionally. In 1 Samuel 2 verse 15, the priest's servant demanding raw flesh before the fat is burned. The Eli narrative, a cautionary echo about priestly presumption, about taking the portion before the offering ascends. This fivefold thread, anchored by a signal that dwarfs the baseline by nearly 19 times, tells us the Father's answer to the blood moon is priesthood. Not spektak, not fear. Priesthood, the mediating architecture between heaven and earth. 4. The sovereignty thread. A sovereignty thread runs alongside the priestly current. Daniel chapter 6 verse 3. Tekel. Upharsin, the handwriting on the wall. Babylon weighed and found wanting on the very night it falls. Drawn into a blood moon inquiry, this is unmistakable. Empires that presume upon their permanence are being measured right now. 2 Samuel 8 verse 11. David's dominion expanding over covenant enemies. Syria, Moab, Ammon, Philistia, Amalek, their wealth consecrated. 2 Samuel 22 verse 9 is theophanic. He parted the skies and descended, and the cloud mass was under his feet. Coals kindled. The imagery mirrors the blood moon itself. The skies parting, YHWH moving downward toward earth. In Deuteronomy 33 verse 28, the ancient of old Elohim is your refuge, and underneath are the age-lasting arms, and he will thrust out the enemy. The arms beneath are Olam, age-lasting. The sovereignty thread answers the blood moon with a double movement. Empires weighed, enemies expelled, YHWH descending personally. But the purpose of the shaking is building. Babylon falls so that the temple rises. V. The birth sign, the Enoch pair. Two Enoch verses form a pair. Enoch 106 verse 11. The child opens his mouth at birth and blesses the Lord of heaven. A supernatural birth narrative. The child speaks before he should be able to. In Enoch 62 verse 3. Pain like a woman in travail when her child enters the mouth of the womb. Birth pangs framed as judgment on the mighty. The blood moon is a birth sign. Something is being born that will bless the Lord of heaven, and its arrival will bring travail to those not aligned with it. The genre distribution confirms this. Apocalyptic literature is overrepresented at 244% in this draw. 6. The covenant anchor and the faithful servant. The theological center of gravity is Psalm 119 verse 144. Your covenant faithfulness is an age-lasting righteousness, and your Torah is the covenant truth. YHWH's faithfulness is Olam. His Torah is Emet. The blood moon confirms this. Matthew 26 verse 3 gives the master's commendation. Well done, good and faithful slave. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Faithfulness in small stewardship leads to rulership. And Colossians 1 verse 10 seals the practical directive. Walk worthy of YHWH to all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of Elohim. The blood moon is not an invitation to speculation. It is an invitation to walk worthy, bear fruit, and increase in knowledge. 7. The cautionary note. But the draw is honest. The polarity balance index leans yes, not absolute yes. Jeremiah 14 verse 20 is the sharpest cautionary verse. YHWH refusing intercessory cover for a people who love to wander. The building commission does not extend to those who treat covenant as optional. The Jubilee field reverts to the priest, but the wandering people lose their intercessor. The blood moon reveals both, restoration and reckoning in the same sky. 8. Synthesis. What is the Father doing? So what is the Father doing under the blood moon? Here is the synthesis from the mathematics and the text. 7 direct textual hits, 6 of 6 convergence channels active, 10.11 sigma on the Dominion Triad, surviving full FDR correction. He is commissioning a building project through unlikely instruments. The shaking of kingdoms is not purposeless destruction. It is the clearing of ground for temple construction. The priestly order is being restored because what is being built requires consecrated stewards. The blood moon is a birth sign, something coming into the world that will bless the Lord of heaven, bringing travail to the unprepared. Those who walk worthy and remain faithful over small things will be elevated to rule over many. Those who wander and presume will find their intercession withdrawn. The moon turns to blood. The Father builds. This is Dallas James, Heart's 2 Fathers Publishing, Royal Levitical Priesthood Ministry. Shalom.